I've been fortunate to live a life filled with storytelling, artistry, and connection. Acting has allowed me to explore human experiences deeply, bringing characters to life that resonate with audiences around the world. From my early days in A Little Romance to more recent roles in films like Unfaithful and Under the Tuscan Sun, I've always sought to bring authenticity and vulnerability to my work. For me, storytelling is about finding the truth in every moment and sharing it with others. Outside of acting, I'm just a person who values time with family, nature, and the simple joys that remind me of what really matters.
Hold on to your seats, Hollywood lovers, because we're about to dive into the extraordinary and often tumultuous life of one of Tinseltown's most enduring stars. Diane Lane, the sultry siren who's been captivating audiences for over 4 decades, has a story that's more dramatic than any script she's ever read. From child prodigy to Hollywood icon, Lane's journey is a roller coaster ride of triumphs, heartbreaks, and shocking twists that will leave you breathless. Picture this. A 6-year-old girl steps onto a New York stage, sharing the spotlight with legends like Meryl Streep. Fast forward a few years, and that same girl is turning down roles that would make most actors weep with envy. But here's the kicker. Behind the glitz and glamour, young Diane was living a life straight out of a soap opera, complete with parental kidnapping, legal battles, and a declaration of independence at an age when most kids are worrying about their first school dance. Buckle up, gossip lovers, because we're about to take you on a wild ride through the hidden history of Diane Lane. From her tumultuous childhood to her steamy affairs with rock stars, from career-defining roles to shocking scandals, we'll leave no stone unturned. Get ready to see this Hollywood icon in a whole new light as we reveal the untold stories that shaped the woman behind the legend. Born into a world of glamour, Diane Lane seemed destined for stardom from day one. Her mother, Colleen Lee Farrington, was a Playboy model and nightclub singer who oozed sophistication. But don't let that fool you into thinking Diane's childhood was all sunshine and roses. Just 13 days after her birth, her parents were already at each other's throats, fighting over divorce papers. Talk about starting life with a bang. Little Diane was shuffled between her parents like a human hot potato. 1 minute she's living with mum, the next she's back with dad. But the real shocker came when her mother, in a move that would make any soap opera writer green with envy, suddenly took off for Georgia, leaving young Diane in the dust. It was a plot twist that would set the stage for a life filled with drama both on and off the screen. But here's where it gets really interesting. At the tender age of 6, when most kids are still figuring out how to tie their shoelaces, Diane was already stealing the spotlight. Her first role in the Greek play Medea wasn't just cute, it was the beginning of a career that would span decades and leave an indelible mark on Hollywood. Fast forward a few years and Diane's sharing the stage with none other than Meryl Streep in The Cherry Orchard. But hold on to your hats, because this is where Diane's story takes a turn that'll make your head spin. At 13, she was offered the chance to make her film debut alongside the legendary Laurence Olivier. Most actors would kill for such an opportunity, but not our Diane. In a move that had Hollywood insiders picking their jaws up off the floor, she turned it down flat. Now, you might think this would be career suicide, but oh no. Laurence Olivier, instead of being offended, declared Diane the new Grace Kelly. Talk about a compliment. This gutsy move catapulted Diane into the spotlight, making her the cover girl of countless magazines and the talk of Tinseltown. But while Diane's star was on the rise, her personal life was more like a hurricane. School? She hated it. Family life? A mess. In a twist worthy of a primetime drama, Diane was secretly kidnapped by her own mother, leading to a legal battle that would make even the most hardened divorce lawyers wince. When the dust settled, Diane refused to speak to her mother for 3 whole years. Talk about family drama. At 15, when most teens are worrying about prom dates, Diane was declaring her independence and jetting off to Los Angeles to film Child Bride of Short Creek. It was a bold move that would make even the most rebellious teenager blush. But this independence came at a price, setting the stage for a career filled with both incredible highs and devastating lows. Diane's journey to stardom wasn't all smooth sailing. After dropping out of college, she was desperate for her big break. The 80s saw her in a string of films, but it wasn't until The Outsiders and Rumble Fish that Diane truly became a household name. Suddenly, she was the it girl of Hollywood, rubbing shoulders with future superstars like Tom Cruise and Nicolas Cage. But fame is a fickle friend, and Diane soon learned that the hard way. After turning down several projects to focus on films like Streets of Fire and The Cotton Club, she found herself facing a string of commercial and critical flops. It was a blow that would send her into an unwanted hiatus, leaving fans and critics wondering if the once bright star had burned out too soon. But if you think that's the end of Diane Lane's story, think again. This is just the beginning of a tale filled with comebacks, scandals, and enough drama to fill a dozen Hollywood scripts. From her steamy affairs with rock stars to her tumultuous marriages, from career-defining roles to shocking on-set controversies, Diane Lane's life is a testament to the roller coaster ride that is Hollywood stardom. So grab your popcorn and settle in, because we're about to take you on a journey through the hidden history of one of Hollywood's most enigmatic stars. From child prodigy to silver screen siren, from heartbreak to triumph, Diane Lane's story is one that will leave you shocked, inspired, and hungry for more. Stay tuned, because in the world of Diane Lane, the most extraordinary tales are the ones that happen when the cameras stop rolling. As we delve deeper into Diane's journey, we uncover a series of relationships that read like a who's who of Hollywood heartthrobs. Remember that brief but sizzling romance with John Bon Jovi in the 80s? It was the stuff of rock and roll dreams, with the 20-year-old Diane falling hard for the charismatic rocker. But like many whirlwind romances, it burned bright and fizzled fast. The official story, geographical distance, and John's grueling tour schedule. But hold on to your hats, because there's more to this tale than meets the eye. According to Bon Jovi's former manager, the real reason for the split was far juicier. In a tell-all memoir that sent shockwaves through Hollywood, he claimed that Diane was caught partying with none other than Richie Sambora, the band's lead guitarist. Talk about a rock and roll scandal. Of course, Diane vehemently denied these claims, but the damage was done. The rumour mill was in overdrive, and Diane found herself at the centre of a media storm that would make even the most seasoned publicist break into a sweat. But Diane wasn't one to let a little scandal slow her down. She continued to set hearts aflutter with a string of high-profile relationships, including flings with actors Emilio Estevez, Timothy Hutton, and Christopher Atkins. It seemed that Diane had a type, talented, handsome, and often just as famous as she was. But it was her marriage to French actor Christopher Lambert that really had tongues wagging. Diane and Lambert's love story was like something out of a romantic comedy. They first met on the set of Highlander in 1986, but it wasn't until they reunited 2 years later that sparks really flew. Before you could say, there can be only one, the couple was walking down the aisle in a romantic ceremony in Santa Fe, New Mexico. The cherry on top? The birth of their daughter Eleanor 3 years later. But as any Hollywood veteran knows, happily ever after is often just a fairy tale. Despite the joy of starting a family, cracks began to appear in Diane and Christopher's relationship. In a brutally honest interview years later, Diane admitted, "It wasn't love, nor was it passion. I was simply waiting for someone who made me feel like a real woman." Ouch. The marriage ended in a bitter divorce, leaving Diane once again navigating the treacherous waters of singledom in the spotlight. But if you think Diane's romantic life couldn't get any more dramatic, buckle up, because the best is yet to come. Enter Josh Brolin, the ruggedly handsome actor who swept Diane off her feet. Their romance was the stuff of Hollywood legend. They had known each other for years, with Josh even being present when Diane was pregnant with her daughter. But it wasn't until 9 years later that their relationship blossomed into something more. The couple tied the knot in 2004, and for a while, it seemed like Diane had finally found her happily ever after. But just 4 months into their marriage, scandal struck. In a shocking turn of events, Diane called the police, accusing Josh of domestic abuse. The entertainment world was rocked to its core. How could this golden couple's fairy tale have turned so dark so quickly? But wait, there's more. In a twist that had gossip columnists working overtime, Diane later withdrew her accusation, claiming it was all a big misunderstanding. The couple tried to reconcile, putting on a united front for the cameras, but behind the scenes, things were far from rosy. Despite their efforts, the marriage couldn't withstand the strain, and they eventually divorced in 2013. In the aftermath of their split, Josh opened up about the incident in an interview that had everyone talking. "I've learned to control myself," he said, "but it was a really chaotic time. It was a rare moment of vulnerability from a Hollywood tough guy, and it shed new light on the complexities of Diane's personal life. Throughout all these ups and downs, Diane's career continued to evolve. After her early success and subsequent slump, she found herself reinventing her image time and time again. Her role in the 1999 film A Walk on the Moon showcased a new side of Diane, mature, complex, and undeniably sexy. Director Tony Goldwyn described her as a volcano of seduction with a natural, unadulterated charisma. It was a performance that earned her an Independent Spirit Award nomination and signaled the beginning of a career renaissance. But it was her role in the 2002 film Unfaithful that truly catapulted Diane back into the Hollywood stratosphere. Playing a complex, adulterous wife, Diane delivered a performance that left audiences and critics alike breathless. The film was a box office success, but more importantly, it earned Diane a slew of award nominations, including an Academy Award nod for Best Actress. However, success came at a price. The steamy scenes in Unfaithful were challenging for Diane, both emotionally and physically. She faced immense pressure during filming, and tensions ran high on set. But like the true professional she is, Diane pushed through, later affirming that all the effort was worth it when she saw the film's success. Yet, even as she basked in the glow of her unfaithful triumph, Diane found herself facing a new challenge: typecasting. Suddenly, she was being offered roles that felt all too similar to her unfaithful character. It was a frustrating turn of events for an actress who had always prided herself on her versatility. In a move that shocked many, Diane publicly announced that she was considering giving up acting altogether. She expressed her frustration at being pigeonholed and declared that if new, challenging opportunities didn't come her way, she would step away from the industry to focus on her family. It was a bold statement that had Hollywood insiders wondering if they were about to lose one of their brightest stars. But Diane Lane isn't one to go down without a fight. She continued to seek out roles that challenged her, eventually landing the lead in Disney's Secretariat in 2010. The film, which told the story of the legendary racehorse and its owner Penny Chenery, showcased a different side of Diane's talent. It was a reminder to Hollywood that she was far more than just a seductress. She was a versatile actress capable of bringing depth and nuance to any role. Her career resurgence continued with the HBO film Cinema Verite in 2011, a behind-the-scenes look at the making of the first American reality TV show. Once again, Diane's performance wowed critics and audiences alike, earning her nominations for Emmy, Golden Globe, Screen Actors Guild, and Satellite Awards. It was a triumphant return to form for an actress who had weathered more than her fair share of ups and downs. Now, at 59, Diane Lane has chosen a quieter life away from the constant glare of the spotlight. Instead of chasing roles and red carpet appearances, she spends most of her time focusing on her daughter Eleanor and participating in charitable activities. Living in a cozy Los Angeles home, Diane seems to have found a peace that eluded her for much of her tumultuous career. But don't think for a second that Diane Lane is done surprising us. With an estimated net worth of $40 million and a lifetime of experience in the entertainment industry, she's in a unique position to shape her legacy on her own terms. Whether it's through carefully chosen acting roles, philanthropic efforts, or simply enjoying the fruits of her labour, Diane continues to captivate and inspire. In a recent interview, Diane shared her secret to maintaining a positive outlook despite the many challenges she's faced. "I think the soul needs to be like Teflon," she said. "Don't let negativity stick. Turn it into energy to keep moving forward." It's a philosophy that has served her well throughout her rollercoaster career and personal life. As we look back on Diane Lane's extraordinary journey, from child prodigy to Hollywood icon, it's clear that her story is far from over. She's weathered scandals, survived heartbreaks, and reinvented herself more times than we can count. Through it all, she's maintained a grace and resilience that's nothing short of inspiring. So what's next for Diane Lane? Only time will tell. But one thing's for certain: whatever she does, it'll be on her own terms. Whether she chooses to grace our screens again or continues to focus on her personal life and charitable work, Diane Lane remains a force to be reckoned with in Hollywood and beyond. As we wrap up this deep dive into the hidden history of Diane Lane, we're left with a portrait of a woman who's lived life on her own terms, for better or worse. She's loved passionately, worked tirelessly, and faced her demons head-on. Her story is a testament to the power of perseverance, the importance of reinvention, and the enduring allure of true star power. So here's to Diane Lane, actress, mother, survivor, and eternal Hollywood icon. May her extraordinary tale continue to inspire and captivate for years to come. Because in a town built on dreams and illusions, Diane Lane stands out as the real deal, a star whose light continues to shine bright, no matter what life throws her way.